Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adima. It's been so long since I posted on this space and I am back. So today we're going to be making a capelet. Can be worn with different dresses. If this is something you would like to watch, please stay tuned. Alright, I'll start by ruling out my starting line, and then on that starting line I'll impute my shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then I'll measure my neck width. I'm using neck width of 3 inches. From that neck width point I'm going to join it to my shoulder slope mark, and then to get my chest line I'm going to divide my bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5. What I got about when I did mine was 8 inches, so I marked that 8-inch point, and then I just transferred the line. It's just a line I'm transferring, and then I marked my bust point, which is 11 inches, and I also marked the length I want for the cape. I used 2 inches below my bust point, but you can decide to play around with it. Just do whatever works for you. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer, just do whatever works. So I'm just extending the lines. I'm drawing out the lines from the point that I marked. What I'm doing next is to label out the point. I labeled my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust point, and then the length of my cape. Next, I'm going to transfer my shoulder measurement divided by 2 to my chest line, and then I'll mark that point. And then I'll find the midpoint of that vertical line. The middle of 8 is 4, so I just mark that out. So I came in by half an inch, and then I connected it with a straight line to the shoulder line. I now placed my bust measurement divided by 4 on that line, and then I joined it using a curve. Okay, so next thing I'll do is extend that shoulder line by 3.5 inches. And then for my chest line, I would also extend that bust point that I marked by 3.5 inches, and then I would connect it to my shoulder slope line, and then to the length of my cape. So I would blend out that sharp edge. I want a curve there, so I'll just use my ruler to make that place curved, just like you're seeing me do. And I used my marker pen to just bolden that line that I had already created. So now it's time for me to work on my neckline. My neckline, for my back neckline, I'll be using 3 by 2 inches. So I'm marking my by 1.5 inch. I'm marking my 1.5 inch point, and then for the front 3 inches. And then I used my marker to draw it out. So I'll go for the front, I'll go in by 2 inches at the length line. That's to get that slanting effect. You can decide to do more than 2, you can decide to do less than 2, but I did 2 inches. And then now I'm just labeling the front and the back of my pattern paper. I'm just labeling it out as front and back to show you that I did the front and the back together. So I'll go ahead to cut out only the back piece. That is the sides, the hem, and just the back neckline. And then I'm cutting only the back neckline. When I'm done transferring this to fabric, I will now alter this pattern to get my front pattern. So this is what I have for the back piece. So I'll be making use of 1 yard of Mikado fabric, and I'm just trying to, I'm cutting it out on fold. Remember, the back is going to be on fold. Place it on fold, and then add 1/2 inch allowance round your pattern. 1/2 inch at the hemline, at the neckline, the shoulders, and down to the arm area. So just like I'm doing here, I did 1/2 inch. So like I said, I added 1/2 inch all around while I was cutting out my fabric. You can decide to mark that 1/2 inch with your chalk, but I decided to just eyeball it. So bear in mind that for everything you cut, you're going to cut out the lining for it. So after cutting this, I duplicated it using the same material for my lining of the back piece. And I'm just going ahead to alter this pattern to form my front pattern. Cut out the front neckline, I cut out the front part. So I've gone ahead to transfer it to my fabric. I forgot, don't be like me please, I forgot to add 1/2 inch allowance at the neckline and the opening at the center. So what I'm doing here is I just notched my fabric I just marked my fabric so I can know the front and I can differentiate the front from the back. And now I'll go ahead and place and open up the back piece and place 2 front pieces on top of it, right sides facing each other, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and just do a 1/2 inch stitch all around from the shoulder points through to where the arms are supposed to be. I'll do that on the main fabric and on the lining and show you when I'm done. So now I'm done. I have sewn all around my fabric, my fashion fabric, and my lining. So I'm just going ahead to notch out all the points. Make sure you notch every single part that you sewed. This is to enable it to sit well after you've ironed it. So please make sure you notch the fabric when you're done joining. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention earlier, you can iron interface into your fabric. If you're not using a fabric that has a little bit of structure like Mikado, if you're using crepe or Ankara, you have to iron interface into your fabric to give it structure. And please also iron your fabric before sewing. Don't be like me. I did not have like that's why I didn't even iron this one at all. So it's important to know that you can actually wear this as a reverse cape. So if you want to be able to wear the 2 sides of the cape, you can just decide that you're going to use a different material inside as the lining piece, and then you can be interchanging sides. But for me, I decided to use the same fabric. Like what I mean is maybe you can put an Ankara fabric inside, so you can have you can wear it as an Ankara cape, as a Mikado cape, but I decided to just use one piece, one type of fabric, because I don't want to make it a reverse cape. If you watch this video to this point and you've not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button below. Like this video, share it with your friends or anybody that you think would find useful. And also you can leave your tutorial suggestions in the comment section. Any other tutorial that you'd like me to do, kindly leave it in the comment section. You can also leave your questions. Thank you. Yeah, let's continue. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notch the center of the neckline for both the lining piece and the main fabric, and then I will place them together, and then I will start joining from that midpoint through to the front part. And then in the center, I left a little bit of like 2 inches gap just to help me turn the fabric inside out when I'm done. So after stitching, I notched all the points. I notched it just like you're seeing me doing. It's very important to notch this so your fabric can sit properly when you turn it to the other side, so there's no unnecessary crease, just so you can be relaxed. So I'm going to turn in my fabric, turn it to the right side, and then I would go ahead to give this a very good press. Also, I'd have to use hemming gum to close up that whole area. So that area that I left open to use to turn the fabric, I used hemming gum to close up that area. I ironed hemming gum to close up that area. So this is the final look. I have successfully ironed my fabric. You can decide to put a button over there, or you put hook and eye. But for me, I decided to just use a brush. You can make it a reversible cape. In that case, you're going to put the lining under will be different. You can use a different material under. Or yeah, so if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in my next video.